Yes, sir. We are live.
Thank you. Thank you, Manjari sir. Good afternoon to all. Welcome to today's webinar on Campus to Corporate, a successful interview and essential quality of fresh graduate. On behalf of Bajaj College of Science, I welcome our resource person, Professor Prasad Bhagwatsa. I also welcome our participants, faculty, our principals, Dr. Mohammaday, Dr. Chandrakar ma'am, IQC coordinator. Bajaj College of Science has a training and placement center which look after students' placement and provide a platform for BSc and MSc students for seeking a career opportunities in various professions. Training and Placement Center regularly interact with BSc and MSc students which are currently pursuing their curriculum, as well as the freshly passed graduates and postgraduates for various campus placement drives, job positions, placements, and other career opportunities. Today, on such a bright late afternoon, Bajaj College of Science has arranged a webinar on very important topic, that is campus to corporate. In a pandemic situation, students have now huge pressure of handling job crisis, and therefore discussion on this topic is very much needed. Our students are very excited to listen to the speaker for today's topic. May I now request Dr. Saikat sir, co-host, to introduce today's speaker. Saikat sir.
Saikat sir. Yes, yes, yes.
Saikat sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizer for giving me an opportunity to introduce our respected speaker. So today we have among ourselves
Saikat sir. Sir.
Sir, आप mute हो. Saikat sir.
Yes, I just got disconnected in between. Yes. Today we have among ourselves Professor Prasad Bhagwatsa. Presently, he is working as head of Industry Institute Interaction and Placement at Sri Sant Krupa Institute of Engineering Technology, Gurgaon. He has a wide experience.
Saikat sir. He lost.
Sir, I think you will have to introduce our speaker.
Oh. Just a minute.
Abhimanyu sir.
Yes, sir.
There is a lot of connection problem in my place, so I'll again give the introduction. I'm very sorry for that.
No problem, sir. You can start.
So today we have among ourselves Professor Prasad Bhagwatsa. Presently, he is working as a head of Industry Institute Interaction and Placement at
I think Maheshwari sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, he is not audible. Okay. Sir, you can introduce this.
Yes.
No problem.
Today's speaker, Dr. Bhagwatsa, is presently head Institute Interaction and Placement at Sri Santa Krupa Institute of Engineering and Technology, Gurgaon. He has wide experience in areas of teaching, skill development, training, placement, production, sales and corporate training. From the last 15 years, he has been interacting with various educational institutes for handling training and placement activities. He has handled training and placement activities in engineering, pharmacy, MBA, science, and many other branches of other professions. He has almost 16 years of teaching experience in management and pharmacy. He has more than 2 years of pharma industrial experience. He has successfully launched and promoted products of Sandoz India Limited. He has handled responsibilities of management consultant for Prakriti Medicines Private Limited. Bhagwat sir has conducted training sessions for engineering companies, personally visited many leading companies for placement of students, and he has presented various research in international conferences and national seminars. And sir has given wide range of seminars in many pharmacy and technology, science and technology institutions about placement drives. So without wasting rest of the time, I would like to invite Dr. Bhagwat sir to deliver his presentation and share his knowledge about the placement activities and the skills which are needed for the graduate students.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Very good afternoon to all. Before I start my presentation, first of all, I'm very much thankful to respected principal, sir. I'm very much thankful to all the Samstha officials, all the higher authorities of institute. My special thanks to all the senior professors, HODs. My special thanks to Dr. Naik, sir. And of course, dear students, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with you on this very special subject. The subject is on campus to corporate. Here, student mainly will discuss about how we can proceed for the interview. My session has been divided into 15 different parts. Initially, we'll discuss about the importance of self-assessment. What are the expectations of the corporate world? Then we'll have a discussion on what basic preparation is required from our side. We will also discuss on what are the challenges ahead for the freshers. We'll also discuss on the commonly asked interview questions, essential qualities needed not only to enter but to further progress in the corporate world also. We'll have a discussion on how the positive attitude is important for us. We'll also discuss on what etiquettes and manners are required to go ahead to further progress in our life and especially during our interviews. Students, if you look at today's my title of this session, of course, the main title of the session is Journey. It's a journey from campus to corporate. But if you look at this slide, you can see that I'm not going to talk only on interview. My session is little but different, and my session is on successful interview. तुमच्या एक लक्षात येईल स्टुडंट्स की याच्यामध्ये वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू टॉक ओनली ऑन द इंटरव्ह्यू, पण मेनली आपण वी आर गोइंग टू फोकस ऑन हाऊ माय इंटरव्ह्यू हॅज टू बी अन सक्सेसफुल इंटरव्ह्यू. Students, before we go ahead for this today's presentation, My special thanks to my parents and my teachers also. You will be surprised to know that if you look at this picture, we grow like as a small plant. As here I have shown in this picture, we grow like as a small plant. And when we were growing right from our childhood, right from our birth, in fact, I can say that we need support, we need encouragement, we need guidance. So not only from your parents, but teachers has also played a very important role in everyone's life. So whenever there is a progress, we need support from the rest of the members from the society. So whatever that today I have achieved in my life, I'm not going to say that I have achieved very much substantial. But whatever that I have achieved in my life, it is only because of my parents and my teachers has played a very important role in my career. And my special thanks to goes to all my well-wishers also. So students, once again, I am very much thankful to you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with you on this very special subject. Students, if you look at this slide, today I'm going to discuss on, it's a journey from campus to corporate. Students, आपण आज ही आपली एक जर्नी आहे कॅम्पस टू कॉर्पोरेट. आपण जसं एखाद्या प्रवासाला निघतो ना, तसा हा सुद्धा एक मोठा प्रवास आहे आपल्या आयुष्यातला. इट्स अ जर्नी फ्रॉम कॅम्पस टू कॉर्पोरेट. As you can see in this picture is quite interesting. And as you can see here, purposefully, students, I have kept the chair vacant. Now you could be under impression that you might be under impression that why I have kept this chair vacant. Because I know that you are from such a highly reputed institute. The institute has got a very excellent standards in the society, in the education community itself. And not only that, in the industry world also. So you are lucky that you are associated with this industry. And I'm quite sure that you could be the right person. You could be the luckiest one. You could be the fortunate one who can grab this opportunity. So that's why students, I have kept this chair vacant. Students, ही मुद्दामून मी चेअर वेकंट ठेवली कारण मला माहिती आहे की तुम्ही अतिशय एका टॉपमोस्ट इन्स्टिट्यूट मधून शिक्षण घेत आहात आणि नक्कीच तुम्ही ही जी चेअर आहे किंवा ही जी चेअर आहे यू कॅन एक्वायर दिस पोझिशन. So students, it's a journey from campus to corporate. Now student, what is required today at this junction? Today is the right platform. Today is the right junction where we have to decide or we have to carry out our own self-assessment. Own self-assessment is required because as you know that self-assessment is the best assessment. And as you can see here I have given these two pictures. In one picture, you can see that no one is there near to the microscope. In the second picture, students, as you can see here, one student is observing the slides under the microscope. You will be surprised to know that, or you will be happy to know that how I have connected this microscope with your resume or the journey from campus to corporate. Students, as I said, today is the right platform. Whenever any opportunity comes to your institute for any campus recruitment or any project opportunity or for any internship opportunity, first we have to prepare our resume. And just imagine, student, just you imagine, if you put your CV under the microscope. What is the use of microscope? Microscopes are mainly used to observe the minute detail structures. Microscopes are needed or microscopes are used to observe the minute detail structures. So student, just imagine, if you put your CV under the microscope, what will happen? I am sure that there might be some grammatical mistakes, there might be some typing mistakes, or there might be some mistakes in the form of commas, there might be some mistakes in the form of full stop also. And in general, the way by which entire CV has to be arranged, it needs what I can say more preparation is required from our side. मला आजच्या दिवशी स्टुडंट्स तुम्हाला एक सांगायचं अगदी महत्वाचं म्हणजे की कुठल्याही इंटरव्ह्यूला जाताना आधी आपल्याला सीव्ही प्रिपेअर करायचं आणि ज्यावेळेस आपण सीव्ही प्रिपेअर करणार आहोत त्यावेळेस तुम्ही जस्ट इमॅजिन करा की आपला जर सीव्ही आपण मायक्रोस्कोपच्या खाली ठेवला, मायक्रोस्कोपच्या खाली आपण सीव्ही ठेवणार नाहीये, बट जस्ट वी हॅव टू इमॅजिन इट. तर काय काय दिसेल तर आपल्याला काही ग्रामॅटिकल मिस्टेक्स दिसतील, काही टायपिंग मिस्टेक्स दिसतील. देर माइट बी सम मिस्टेक्स इन द फॉर्म ऑफ कॉमा म्हणा किंवा फुल स्टॉप्स म्हणा. या अशा सगळ्या मिस्टेक्स आपल्याला दिसतील. So students, today is the right time that we need to carry out the proofreading of our own CV. CV means curriculum vitae, resume म्हणा, किंवा you can call it as a biodata also. So students, microscopic examination is required. If you carry out the microscopic examination, I am sure that all these mistakes your CV will be free from all these mistakes. Now students, we are talking about self-awareness. Self-awareness म्हणा, किंवा you can talk about the self-assessment म्हणा. So why it is required? So what do you mean by self-awareness first? It means paying attention to yourself. I'm sure that being as a student of these highly reputed institutes, you might have some aspirations for your life, for your career, for your family also. So in general, the self-awareness is nothing but understanding your own personality. Here, student, we have to carry out the assessment of our own personality. So that is why students, again and again, I am saying that self-assessment is required before we apply for all these interview process. Student, just remember the first day when you had taken the admission for this course, and look at this last year of your education. At the beginning, students, some of you might be under impression that की हा कोर्स डिफिकल्ट आहे, कसं काय आपल्याला हे पुढे आपण सगळे सब्जेक्ट्स क्लिअर करत जाणार आहोत. आणि नॉट ओनली दॅट, हाऊ आय एम गोइंग टू अचीव गुड मार्क्स इन एक्झामिनेशन ऑल्सो, how I am going to acquire new skills in my life so that I will be a different candidate in this entire corporate field also. तर असं सुरुवातीला देर माइट बी सम काइंड ऑफ, आपण म्हणू की थोडीशी निराशा होती तुमच्यामध्ये, पण स्लोली तुमच्यामध्ये एक तो कॉन्फिडन्स आला. आणि now you have come to that stage where there is a feeling of I can do it or I will do it. So students, this is the first beginning of what I can say, तुमच्या सक्सेस कडे जाण्याची ही सगळ्यात मोठी पहिली स्टेप आहे, की तो तुमच्यामध्ये कॉन्फिडन्स आलेला आहे. कुठला कॉन्फिडन्स? आय कॅन डू इट किंवा आय विल डू इट. हा आपल्या लाईफमध्ये स्टुडंट्स सगळ्यात महत्वाचा आहे. इफ यू लुक एट दिस पिक्चर, यू कॅन see that as you know that students, whenever there is a single opening, number of students are eligible, or I can say that number of students apply for that particular position. So this is the picture, students, where you can see that students are waiting outside the office for their interview. Sir, त्यांच्या इंटरव्ह्यू करता ते इथं वाट बघताय. Just imagine students, they are now waiting for their turn to appear for the interview. Students, this picture is quite interesting picture. तुम्हाला हे या पिक्चर मध्ये जर तुम्ही व्यवस्थित क्लिअर बघितलं तर तुमच्या 2-3 मेन गोष्टी लक्षात येतील. एक जी सर्वात महत्वाची गोष्ट आहे, द थिंग इज दॅट वेन एव्हर एनी कंपनी कम्स टू कॅम्पस रिक्रुटमेंट, कधी कधी कंपनीज कॅम्पस रिक्रुटमेंटला येतात, कधी समटाइम्स इवन वी हॅव टू अप्लाय ऑन आवर ओन टू द कंपनीज फॉर द काय म्हणू आपल्या जॉब अपॉर्च्युनिटी करता किंवा प्लेसमेंट अपॉर्च्युनिटी करता. In many cases, you might have seen that some of these companies, they give their advertisement in the newspaper. Accordingly, we prepare our CV and we appear on our own to all these companies for काय म्हणू आपण आपल्या प्लेसमेंट करता किंवा जॉब करता. But here in the students, the story is different. Whenever any company comes to the campus recruitment, initially they give their selection criteria. Selection criteria म्हणजे आपण असं म्हणू की eligibility criteria company देते आपल्याला initially. Now, in that eligibility criteria, students, company has given some skill set. की हा skill set जर तुमच्याकडे असेल, then you will be preferred in the interview process. So, as per the skill set or as per the eligibility criteria of the company, they have shortlisted 20 students. So, what they have done initially? Initially, they have shortlisted 20 students. So out of those 20 students, look at this tough competition, students outside, there is only one vacancy. See, for example, if there is a vacancy in the quality control department, now you can see that initially company has shortlisted 20 students from the institute, and out of those 20 students, company has finally selected, shortlisted these 5 students for second round of interview. From the initially first round of interview, 20 students appeared for the interview as per their criteria. आणि या 20 स्टुडंट्स मधून कंपनीने काय केलं, कंपनी हॅज शॉर्टलिस्टेड दिस 5 स्टुडंट्स. नाव देर इज अ बिग क्वेश्चन मार्क इन एव्हरीवन्स माइंड. मला माहिती आहे आता तुमच्या मनामध्ये एक मोठा प्रश्न आला असेल की हे पिक्चर मी असं का दाखवलंय. Students, my understanding, or you will be happy to know that, or you will be, it's very interesting to know that why this only one person has been selected and why other 4 has been rejected. त्याच्यात असं का झालं नाही, ह्या तिसऱ्या माणसाला का सिलेक्ट केलं नाही किंवा ह्या 5व्या नंबरच्या माणसाला का सिलेक्ट केलं नाही. Why company has selected this person? That is the big question mark which comes into my mind, and why other 4 has been rejected. Students, if you look at their academic career, all these 5 people have got almost similar academic career. त्यांचं जर तुम्ही academic career बघितलं तर almost they have got similar kind of marks. पण हे जरी सगळं खरं असेल तरी मग ह्या एकाच सिलेक्शन का झालं आणि why these other 4 people has been rejected? खरं सांगू स्टुडंट्स, today's my session is based on this main important area only. Why this only one person has been selected आणि ह्या चौघांचं सिलेक्शन का झालं नाही? That is the big question mark which comes in everyone's mind. Students, his selection is based mainly on the etiquettes and what skills that he has achieved. Even though their academic career is quite similar to each other, the difference made by the second person was on the basis of the etiquettes and manners आणि त्यांनी जे स्किल सेट्स अक्वायर केलेले 3 वर्षाच्या किंवा तुमचा जो काही कोर्सचा कालावधी असेल त्या कालावधीमध्ये स्टुडंट्स तुम्ही जे स्किल सेट्स अचीव्ह केलेले, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन दो स्किल सेट्स कंपनी हॅज शॉर्टलिस्टेड और फायनली सिलेक्टेड दिस कॅन्डिडेट्स. आता माझ्या पुढच्या स्लाइड्स मध्ये आपण त्या स्किल सेट्स किंवा ती काय एटिकेट्स अँड मॅनर्स आहेत की ज्याच्यामुळे याचं सिलेक्शन झालं and why these other 4 people has been rejected, that we'll see it one by one. Listen it carefully, students. What is the main objective of any organization, any company? कुठल्याही कंपनीचा मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह काय असतो? So there are mainly 2 objectives of any organization. Their first objective is of course to earn the profit. Company wants to earn the profit to run their business. त्यांना प्रॉफिट मिळवला पाहिजे ना त्यांचा बिझनेस रन करण्याकरता. But what is the second objective of any organization? It doesn't matter for which industry we are applying. Probably you might be applying for pharma industry, chemical industry, agri industry, biotic industry, any other industries, engineering industries. So these are the 2 main objectives of any organization. One is, of course, they want to earn the profit to run the business. But their second objective is important. Students, all these companies are not only concentrating their efforts not only to earn the profit, but they also look at progress and expansion. There are a number of examples in our country, students. Initially, the companies, what I can say, financial standing was very small. They had started their activities at one small location. Slowly, किंवा ग्रॅज्युअली त्यांनी जसा प्रॉफिट अर्न करत गेला तसं नाउ दे हॅव स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग ऑफ प्रोग्रेस अँड एक्सपेन्शन अँड मेनी ऑफ दीज कंपनीज हॅव स्टार्टेड देअर ऑपरेशन्स एट ए डिफरंट लोकेशन्स इन आवर कंट्री. फॉर एक्झाम्पल स्टुडंट्स, एखाद्या कंपनीने पुण्याला इनिशियली ऑफिस सुरू केलं असेल, देन दे विल स्टार्ट देअर ऑफिसेस ॲट नागपूर ऑल्सो किंवा मध्य प्रदेश म्हणा किंवा राजस्थान म्हणा. सो स्लोली कंपनी हॅज डेव्हलप्ड and company has started the activities and they have concentrated on progress and expansion. There are many examples in India, students. Not only these companies have started their operations at our country at a domestic level, but they have started their operations or manufacturing activities at global level also. There are numerous examples, students. The one more important part, if you look at all these companies, is that earlier the focus was on sales and marketing activities, but nowadays, students, the focus has been shifted. Of course, sales and marketing activities are important for the business because entire business or the what I can say, the survival of that organization, it depends on the what I can say, the return on investment. So companies' major focus was on sales and marketing activities, but now companies have realized that apart from sales and marketing activities, they have to focus on R&D activities, also research and development activities. Student just took an example of mobile phones. आपण सगळेजण हल्ली mobile phone वापरतो. Look at around 10 years back, or you can take the example of just 5 years back. The mobile technology which was available on 5 years back, or the technology which is available on today, this technology was not existing 5 years back. So companies are always trying to concentrate on their R&D activities, and they are trying to find out the developed market. So through developed market, companies can introduce new product, and this is how they can gain the market share, and slowly, finally, they can improve their financial standing. आलं लक्षात? तर स्टुडंट कुठल्याही कंपनीचे दोन मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह असतात. मी आता जसं म्हणालो तसं, एक म्हणजे दे आर ऑलवेज लुकिंग फॉर काय म्हणू आपण, प्रॉफिट त्यांना अर्न करायचा आहे, त्यांचा बिझनेस रन करण्याकरता, आणि सेकंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह इज ऑफ ए प्रोग्रेस अँड एक्सपेन्शन. So student, this sentence is very important for all of us. Look at the main basic objective of any industry or any company. Their main basic objective is of a progress and expansion. Students, all these officials, those who are involved in this entire selection process or recruitment process, they are quite sharp, they are experienced people, they are learned people. And within 5 minutes itself, students, within first 5 to 6 minutes, they can understand and they can read your personality. म्हणजे स्टुडंट्स, मला असं म्हणायचं की पहिल्या 5 ते 6 मिनिटांमध्ये these experts, they will judge your personality, or they will judge your candidature, because they are quite experienced people. So what will be the company's first top priority? Whenever any candidate appears for any of these interviews, their first top priority or their first preference goes to those students whose attitude is of a progressive attitude, or whose nature is of a progressive nature. का बरं? कारण कंपन्यांचं, if you look at the main basic objective of any organization, कंपनीचं ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह काय आहे? Company's itself objective is of a progress and expansion. So what type of candidate they will prefer? Their preference will go to those students whose nature is of a progressive nature, or whose attitude is of a progressive attitude. त्यामुळे स्टुडंट, सगळ्यात महत्वाचा भाग असा आहे, you can take it for your lifetime example, lifetime also, की तुम्ही ज्यावेळेस कुठल्याही इंटरव्ह्यूला जाल, त्यावेळेस सगळ्यात महत्वाचं असं आहे की तुमच्या बोलण्यातून, तुमच्या वागण्यातून, तुमच्या सीव्हीतून तुमचं कॅन्डिडेचर किंवा तुमची पर्सनॅलिटी अशी एक्झिबिट झाली पाहिजे की those people should feel that your nature is of a progressive nature, your attitude is of a progressive attitude. कारण कंपनीला प्रोग्रेस हवी. So what type of candidate they will prefer? Of course, company's preference will go to those students whose nature is of a progressive nature, or whose attitude is of a progressive attitude. हा सगळ्यात महत्वाचा भाग आहे स्टुडंट्स. Students, I know that we have two goals. One is a short-term goal and other is a long-term goal. As far as short-term goal is concerned, the short-term goal might be to secure a good marks in examination. Short-term goal might be to get a good internship certificate from the industry where you have completed your internship or a project. किंवा एखादा आणखीन आपण शॉर्ट-टर्म गोल असं म्हणू शकतो की some of you might have a short-term goal of काय म्हणू आपण, त्यांनी त्यांचं लाईफ स्पोर्ट्स मध्ये प्रोग्रेस करायचंय फॉर द इनिशियल सम पिरियड. So that can be your short-term goal. But students, today is the right platform. We have to decide our goals. Yes, I know that we have short-term goal, but we have to decide our long-term goals also. Why we have to decide our long-term goals? Students, if you look at all those higher authority or higher officials, those who have achieved the best positions in the corporate world, if you look at their profile, look at the goals, what they had set at the initial stage of their career. Students, इथं मला एक तुम्हाला अगदी महत्त्वाची रिक्वेस्ट करायची आहे. I want to make a very small and important request to all of you. Whenever you get selected for any company, at least at an initial stage of your career, please don't leave that organization at least for a span of 1.5 years or 1 year at least. आता तुमच्या मनामध्ये प्रश्न आला असेल की why we should be with that organization for 1.5 years at the beginning of your career. Students, there are 3 main important reasons on which we should not, on the basis I can tell you, we should not leave that place at least for a period of 1 year. One is that even all our professors will also agree that whenever we invite any of these companies to campus recruitment, we need to establish good relationship with all these industries, with all these companies. So what will happen if you leave that place within a span of 1 year? There will be a very bad impact on the relationship which has been established by the institute and the industry. The relationship वरती मोठा परिणाम होईल. Second thing is that students, any experience which is below 1 year, at least at the initial stage of career, will not be valued so much if you go and appear for the another organization. तुम्ही जर एखादी नोकरी इमिजिएट तुमच्या हा जो इनिशियल स्टेज ऑफ युअर करिअर मधनं जर सोडली आणि इफ यू गो अँड अपियर फॉर द सेकंड दुसऱ्या ऑर्गनायझेशन्स मध्ये तुम्ही इंटरव्ह्यूला गेलात, सो व्हॉट विल बी द इम्प्रेशन ऑफ दॅट नेक्स्ट पर्सन? He may think that you could not be, you are not a stable person at a one position, and you are changing your jobs on the basis of salary. So that impression should not be there. Understand? Third thing is that students, if you get selected, initially company has to, what I can say, depute a team of some senior authorities to train you. कारण initially तुम्हाला training देणं गरजेचं आहे ना. You cannot go and start your jobs directly. Immediately. Initially, training is essential. So you will be trained by these senior authority officials or higher authority officials. Now look at this point, students. These officials, they invest their time, they invest their money, and they invest their energy. So what will happen if you leave that place within a span of 1.5 years? Then company will lose one of the important human resource if you leave that place after a training period, students. So my request to all the students is that at least at an initial stage of your career, because you are a fresher, please do not think about the rest of the factors. Concentrate on this organization and please don't leave that place, because it will have a bad impact on all these three aspects. One is that, students, it will have a bad impact on the relationship between industry and institute. Second thing is that company will lose one of the important human resource. And the third thing is that your experience may not be a valued experience. कारण तुमचा experience इतका तो valuable असणार नाही if you leave that place and if you go and appear for the another place for the interview. So this is one more important request from my side. Of course, in some cases, students, some serious issues are there, some concerns are there, then definitely you can leave that place. But generally, it is accepted that it is well-known, established fact that you cannot leave that place in for 1.5 years or 1 year, at least at the initial stage of your career. Students, as I said earlier, these people, those who are involved in into this recruitment or selection process, they are experienced people. And whenever they go through your resume itself, students, they will try to find out, or through your interaction, they will try to find out whether you have got any team skills or not. म्हणजे तुमच्याकडे काही team skills आहेत का? Because when you get selected for any organization, you will not be alone there. You will be associated with a team of subordinates. You will have to report it to your higher authorities also. तर तुमच्याकडे सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचा आणखीन कुठला गुण असणं गरजेचं आहे? द मेन इम्पॉर्टंट काय म्हणू आपण, द ॲसेट इज दॅट यू शुड हॅव गुड टीम स्किल्स ऑल्सो. आता नुसती टीम स्किल्स असणं गरजेचं आहे का? नाही. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दॅट, स्टुडंट्स, यू नीड टू हॅव अ पॅशन फॉर इट. पॅशन कशा करता? पॅशन टू गो अहेड इन लाईफ और पॅशन टू प्रोग्रेस इन लाईफ. सो दॅट इफ देर आर टीम स्किल्स and if there is a passion to go ahead in life, to progress in life, I am sure that definitely you can set an example for the others. So other people will certainly follow you. So what is required, students, at the initial stage? There has to be an enthusiasm. If you look at this first sentence on my second slide, students, as you can see here, nowadays communication skills are needed. Good communication skills are needed. I can't say that excellent communication skills, but at least we must have good communication skills. Ability to communicate effectively is highly respected and is highly required nowadays, students. Here, purposefully, I have used the word effectively. See, once you get selected, just few minutes back, as I told you, You need to communicate to your higher authorities also. You need to communicate it to your subordinates also. So this communication might be a oral communication or it might be a written communication also. आलं लक्षात? पण हे ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही कम्युनिकेट करत असताल त्यावेळेस ते तुमचं कम्युनिकेशन इफेक्टिव्ह असणं भयंकर गरजेचं आहे, अतिशय गरजेचं आहे. What is the main essence of communication? The main essence of communication is that whatever you are saying or whatever you are presenting, that has to be understood by the next person. आलं लक्षात? So my request, there is a one more request from my side is that I'm sure that you are from such a good institute and you are good enough in your communication skills, but try to improve it again so that you will be a good communicator to your higher authorities also and to your subordinate officials also. Students, those days have gone when we were graduated. You will be surprised to know that there was no that much, the use of computer was not up to this high level which is on today. Today, if you look at all these departments, it doesn't matter for which industry you are applying. Even if you apply for any, if you go to any bank or if you go to any other offices, you will see that computers are being highly used. So a very important quality needed today is that your basic domain knowledge has to be perfect. But apart from that, students, you must be good in your computer skills also. You must be good in MS Office also. You must be good in Excel skills also. You must have good presentation skills also. So try to develop the computer skills. As far as general awareness is concerned, students, these officials, these interview officials, as I said you earlier, they are experienced people and they will ask you few questions initially. And on those few questions itself, they will try to understand how well you are acquainted with the nearby industries or the, what I can say, the corporate life also. Whatever company, whichever company that you are applying, we must know the financial positioning of that company, which are the political and economical factors that they are affecting on the business. And my request is that try to connect or try to improve your general awareness also whenever you are going and appearing for any of these interviews. I am very much concerned about this sentence, students, or this word, students. As you can see here, we must have 3H attitude. आता तुमच्या सगळ्यांच्या मनामध्ये प्रश्न पडला असेल की what is this 3H attitude? This 3H attitude is nothing but hand, head, and the third one is very different. And this third one is called as heart. I am talking about heart. So what is this 3H attitude? 3H attitude is nothing but if there is a combination of hand, head, and heart, then we can call it as a 3H attitude. आता मी स्टुडंट्स याच्यामध्ये हार्ट का घेतलंय माहिती आहे तुम्हाला? There is a big difference. If there is a combination of hand and head, I am sure that your performance will be better. Your performance will be good, or it will be at the max, it will be better. But if there is a combination of hand, head, and heart, I'm 100% sure that your performance or the results of your work will be much better if you compare it with your colleagues or with any other personnel. Why? Heart means, students, I'm talking about involvement. If there is a better involvement from your side, you can get better experience. And with your better experience, your decision making ability will be improved. आलं लक्षात? आपण म्हणतो की नाही काही वेळेस काही साहेब जे असतात ते क्विक डिसिजन्स घेतात. On what basis he takes the quick decisions? He takes the quick decisions on the basis of involvement. If there is a better involvement, you can get better experience. And with better experience, students, you will be in a position to take quick and good decisions. So students, it doesn't matter for which position we have applied in your life, in everyone's life. What is more important? More important part in our life is that there has to be a 3H attitude, hand, head, and heart. If there is a combination of hand and head, just few minutes back, as I said, the results will be better. But if there is a combination of hand, head, and heart, I am sure that the results of your work will be much better if you compare it with the other candidates. Students, if you look at all these people, those who have achieved the best positions in the corporate world, not only in the corporate world, but in the any other field also, you can see that these are the four main common qualities all these people have. They are self-discipline, integrity, honesty, and professionalism. These are also the crucial skills. Students, can we compromise on the self-discipline? No, we cannot compromise on the self-discipline. So why these people have achieved the best positions in their life? You can see that many of them initially they started their career as a production trainee or as a marketing trainee or as a quality control trainee or as a junior research trainee. But only because of this self-discipline nature, they are in a self-discipline nature. So only because of these quality students, many of these officials at the time of their retirement, they retired as a general manager of the company. Many of them were retired as a managing director of the company or as a factory manager of the company, or some of them, they have started their own unit also, manufacturing unit also. So why it has happened? It has happened only on the basis of these four main essential qualities. And all these essential qualities are very much needed if you want to progress in your life, if you want to go ahead in your life. Students, तुम्ही पहिल्यांदा ज्यावेळेस तुमचं सिलेक्शन होतं कुठल्याही कंपनीमध्ये and once you join that organization, initially as I said, the training will be provided. पण एकदा तुमचं ट्रेनिंग झाल्यानंतर what is your job? You will have to guide your subordinates. You will have to talk to your subordinates, and the most important part is that we need to get the things done from them. आपल्याला त्यांच्याकडून चांगल्या प्रकारे काम करून घ्यायचं असतं. We have to get the things done from them. It is very, very much essential from our side. Students, if you look at this picture, again, this picture is quite interesting. If you look at this picture, you will see that here I have taken a picture of an ocean. Ocean's picture me ka घेतलेले? Because we have to think big and we have to think high. Our aims has to be high. Students, nowadays there are number of opportunities. If you come outside from your institute, number of opportunities are available there. Opportunities into banking industry, opportunities into agriculture industry. And there are many good industries there. Now these industries are awaiting for you. And there are other departments in those industry, students. There will be a production department, quality control department, regulatory affairs department, finance department, HR department. There are n number of departments into all these organizations. So students, there is a very wide scope. There is a very bright future is ahead for all of you. Only thing is that students, whenever we are appearing for all these interviews, we have to carry out a basic preparation from our side. आता हे बेसिक प्रिपरेशन आपल्याला काय केलं पाहिजे, that we'll see one by one in this my next slides. आता तुम्ही हे सगळे इंडस्ट्रीज जर बघितल्या स्टुडंट्स, तर तुमच्या असं लक्षात येईल, it doesn't matter for which industry we are applying. All these industries prefers or their preference to go to those students who are skill based, So skill based industry where you need to be specialized in your work and try to concentrate on your skills. See, for example, if some industry or company is looking for those people whose communication and presentation skills are good, definitely you will get a preference into sales and marketing department. This is one of the examples that students I want to give. We need to develop some skills. So today's industry, because as I told you, आपण ते मागचं पिक्चर पाहिलं होतं, हे बघितलं होतं की नाही, याच्यामध्ये मी तुम्हाला मेनली काय सांगितलं होतं, what was the major difference? Their academic career was quite similar to each other, but on what basis they differentiated from each other? It is on the basis only on the basis of etiquettes and manners and the skills that he or she has achieved. आलं लक्षात? त्यामुळे स्टुडंट्स आपल्याला चांगले स्किल्स डेव्हलप केले पाहिजे. Second more important part that in everyone's life is that students, as I said, मगाशी मी जसं म्हणलं तसं, we cannot leave a one place if you get selected at least for 1 year at the beginning of your career. But the most important part is that while choosing that placement opportunity, you need to be very much choosy, and more than that, we need to think about it very wisely. Make the right career move right from the start. I have seen some examples in my life. Some students initially joined the sales and marketing department. Then after sales and marketing department, they went into production. Then after production, then they again take a gap, and then again they go for education. Or some of them have went into other departments. Students, this should not happen. This should not happen with us. We have to decide our career right from this stage on. Many of you might have decided to go for higher education. No problem, you can go ahead. But those who have decided to enter into a corporate field or a corporate life or to join the industry, we have to decide our career right from beginning. If you have decided to make your career into a quality control department, think about in that manner only, students. आलं लक्षात? त्यामुळं आपण सारखं जॉब चेंज करत राहायचं नाही, जॉब किंवा जॉब प्रोफाईल चेंज करत राहायचं नाही. It will have a very bad impact on our entire profile. What is required, students? Apart from this, सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं मी काय सांगितलं तुम्हाला ते, we need to develop our skills. More than that, students, what is needed is a commercial awareness. Apart from general awareness, what is required nowadays is commercial awareness also. आता तो commercial awareness कुठला असला पाहिजे आपल्याकडे? We have to understand the sector. त्या सेक्टर मध्ये आपली कुठली कंपनी आहे, द कंपनी जे आपण ज्या कंपनीला आपण अप्लाय करणार आहोत ती कंपनी कुठल्या सेक्टर मध्ये येते त्याचा आपण स्टडी केला पाहिजे. सेकंड थिंग इज दॅट ट्राय टू फाइंड आउट ऑल दोज पॉलिटिकल अँड इकॉनॉमिकल इश्यूज और फॅक्टर्स which are affecting on the business also. That also you can try to find out. And third thing is that, students, you will be very much pleased, or these interview officials will be very much pleased if you tell them that these are your competitors. So not only you will have to study that companies, what I can say, the details through their website, but apart from that, students, you can also go ahead one step go ahead and try to find out that companies competitors also. What is required? आता आपण मगाशी काय म्हणालो की we have developed our skills. Now we have made our mind की आपण कुठल्या डिपार्टमेंटला जॉइन करणार आहोत. There is a one opening in this particular company. Now what is required? First thing is that, students, we need to prepare our CV. आता हा CV प्रिपेअर करत असताना काय महत्त्वाचं आहे सगळ्यामध्ये? The most important part is that we need to give the authentic information. My focus is on authentic information. Why authentic information? Because once you get selected and before joining that actual organization, these HR officials may talk to your organization where you have done your education. They may talk to your professors, they may talk to your HODs, sometimes even they will consult with the principal and director sir also. And they will try to find out whatever information that you have presented in your CV, they will try to cross-check that information, whether that information is an accurate and authentic information. So students, please don't exaggerate your CV unnecessarily. Please give an authentic information which is absolutely needed for that particular profile. आता एक पुढचा भाग स्टुडंट्स अतिशय महत्त्वाचा आहे. What is more important in life? Many of you might be thinking that, sir, job role is very important in life. Most of you might be thinking that, sir, salary is important in life. काही जण म्हणत असतील, सर, सॅलरी किंवा जॉब रोल पेक्षा ब्रँड नेम फार महत्वाचा आहे. But students, if you ask me, my personal opinion is different. My personal opinion tells me that the first preference goes towards a job role. आता तुम्ही म्हणाल की जॉब रोल आयुष्यामध्ये का महत्वाचा आहे? At least at this initial stage of your career, it is very important for all of us, for all those freshers, so that you can get a wider opportunity to learn or to handle the different operations, or what I can say, the different areas in that particular organization. If you get an experience to handle or to talk to different people in that organization, your experience will be, what I can say, enriched. आणि जितका तुमचा एक्सपिरियन्स जास्त, तितकं तुम्हाला स्टुडंट्स ऑटोमॅटिकली you will get better brand name and better salary will come automatically. So initially, at the beginning of your career, your job role is important. Don't give preference to the salary and brand name. Salary and brand name will come automatically. So if you get better job role, you will get better responsibilities. And with these better responsibilities, students, your decision making ability will also improve, and you will learn lot through all these responsibilities. आता आणखीन एक महत्त्वाचा भाग काय आहे स्टुडंट्स, whenever any company comes to campus recruitment, or sometimes we have to apply on our own to all these companies for recruitment. सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं का म्हणजे काय माहिती आपल्याला? So first we have to read out clearly the job profile. We have to understand the job profile or job description which has been offered by the company. आता ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन आणि जॉब प्रोफाइल क्लिअरली वाचाल, इफ यू अंडरस्टँड इट केअरफुली, यू विल come to know that की त्या कंपनीने कुठले स्किल सेट्स एक्सपेक्ट केले, what skill sets, what different skill sets that this company is expecting from all of us, किंवा कुठल्या प्रकारचा जॉब प्रोफाइल or which are the duties and responsibilities that we have to perform when we join any organization. So why we need to clearly understand and read out this job profile very carefully, because with this understanding of job profile or job description we can prepare our resume. त्यामुळे स्टुडंट्स एक लक्षात घ्या, आपण आपला रेझ्युमे कशाप्रमाणे बनवायचा आहे. यू कॅन प्रिपेअर युअर रेझ्युमे इफ यू by studying clearly the job profile or job description. Student, these are the three main areas, or the what I can say the functions that we need to perform if we join any production department. So just for the example, students, here I have taken this. If you join any production department, what will be your responsibility? Of course, your prime responsibility is to support the manufacturing activities or operations. Second thing is that students, we cannot compromise on safety practices. We have to monitor and implement all the safety practices. This third thing is very important, students. Company ने advertisement कशा करता दिलेली आहे? Why company has given the advertisement? There might be two reasons. One is that company may not be getting the expected results from the person who is presently working in that position, or company might be looking for a good person, or there might be some rejection also, or there might be a greater demand from the market also. पण या सगळ्यामध्ये एक गोष्ट आहे ती कॉमन आहे. कुठली गोष्ट आहे स्टुडंट्स? Company always expects, or company needs, or company always expects that you need to produce or achieve consistent results. हा consistent results हा स्टुडंट शब्द अतिशय महत्वाचा आहे आपल्याला. To achieve the consistent results by following standard practices. On one hand, students, we have to achieve the consistent results, and on the other hand, students, we have to follow the standard practices also, without compromising on the quality aspects. So there should not be any compromise on the quality. At the same time, we have to follow the standard practices only. Then only that quality will be achieved. And most importantly, we need to produce, or we need to achieve the consistent results. हा अतिशय महत्वाचा भाग आहे स्टुडंट्स. त्याच्यानंतर पुढचा एक भाग कुठला महत्वाचा आहे? Whenever you go and appear for any of these interviews. आता आपण इथं काय बघितलं स्टुडंट्स? Initially what we have seen, we have prepared our profile, we have prepared our CV as per the job profile or job description. We have given the preference towards job role. We have given an authentic information in our biodata. Now the next part is very important. The next part is that before actually you appear for any of these interview process, we need to find out the exact details of that company. आता हे exact details आपण कसे find out करणार? We need to visit the company's official website. If you visit the company's official website, you will be able to understand, or you will be able to find out who are the directors of the company. त्या कंपनीच्या management role वरती कोण आहेत? What is the actual company profile? Into which business area this company is operating? What are the different products of the company? Which are the different branch locations where this company is carrying out their manufacturing activities? And any other, all these relevant information will be obtained only if you visit the company's official website. त्यामुळे स्टुडंट्स एक गोष्ट अतिशय महत्वाची आहे की कुठल्याही इंटरव्ह्यूला जाताना, कुठल्याही इंटरव्ह्यूला ऍक्च्युअली अपियर होण्याच्या आधी फर्स्ट ट्राय टू फाइंड आउट द इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट दॅट कंपनी. सगळ्यात महत्वाचा हा पॉइंट आहे, लक्षात घ्या. कारण इथं आपण बघितलं How we have prepared our profile? We have prepared our profile on these 3-4 major points. ज्याच्यामध्ये आपण job profile clear वाचलं. Accordingly, we have prepared our resume. We have given the authentic information also, and so that there will not be any difference. Even they cross check with your institutes. And पण ज्यावेळेस आपण ऍक्च्युअली इंटरव्ह्यूला अपियर होणार आहोत त्याच्या आधी सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं म्हणजे प्लीज टू ट्राय टू फाइंड आउट द इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट द कंपनी. आता ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही स्टुडंट्स कंपनीची ऑफिशियल वेबसाईट बघाल त्यावेळेस तुमच्या असं लक्षात येईल की where you will see that company's vision is there, company's mission statement is there, or some of these companies they give their goals also. आता मी जसं मगाशी म्हणलं तसं as I said earlier, all these officials, those who are into selection process, immediately they will try to see that whether your goals or whether your vision or whether your mission is matching with the company's goals or not. तुमचे गोल्स किंवा तुमचं जे विजन आहे त्या कंपनीच्या गोल्सला मॅच होतंय का नाही. It is very important, and they will try to judge your performance on that basis also. So my one more request to all of you is that whenever you go and appear for this interview process, students, please make sure that try to match your goals or your vision towards life with the company's vision. आलं लक्षात? आणखीन एक भाग फार महत्त्वाचा आहे स्टुडंट्स. What is that? Whenever you go and appear for all these interviews, especially for the freshers, you will see that there are some commonly asked interview questions. Now, which are these commonly asked interview questions? There are many, but we'll see few of them. They will ask you about what do you know about us? तुम्हाला आमच्या कंपनी बाबत काय माहिती आहे? किंवा they will also ask you why do you want this particular job? तुम्हाला ही नोकरी का हवी आहे? And there are many other such questions that we'll see it in my next slide, students. Why I'm saying that we need to prepare for these commonly asked interview questions at the beginning only, and these questions that we have to anticipate or expect. If you read out the job profile clearly, you will be in a position to find out these questions, or you can prepare for these questions. Why I'm saying that you need to prepare for well in advance? Because there will not be any hurry at the last moment. See, for example, if somebody asks you why do you want this particular job, we must be in a position to answer it in a more logical and in a more sequential manner. So please prepare for all these commonly asked interview questions well in advance, so there will not be any hurry at the last moment. Students, and आणखीन एक प्रश्न कॉमन असेल in most of these interviews. They will ask you what are your strengths and weaknesses. पण हा ज्या वेळेस तुम्हाला प्रश्न विचारतील त्या वेळेस एक सगळ्यात महत्त्वाची गोष्ट अशी की ट्राय टू प्रेझेंट युअर स्ट्रेंथ्स इन अ व्हेरी हंबल मॅनर. प्लीज प्रेझेंट युअर स्ट्रेंथ्स इन अ व्हेरी हंबल मॅनर, and while describing your weaknesses, you can present those weaknesses where chances of growth is there. For example, here I can give you one more example. See, good communication skills, of course, it's a strength, but at the same time, even though your communication skills are good, but you might be lacking in your presentation skills, or your performance may not be up to the mark as far as presentation skills are concerned. So, तुम्ही असे weaknesses त्यांना सांगायचे की ज्याच्यामध्ये there is a chance for growth or there is a chance for improvement. But please keep in mind that whenever you are presenting your strength, present it in a very humble manner, and while describing your weaknesses, you can tell them those weaknesses where chances of growth is there or where chance for improvement is there. Don't hesitate to ask the question, students. Generally, we all are under impression that interview is a one-way process. It's not like that. In fact, interview is a two-way process. We should have also some set of questions that can be asked to these panelists. Now, what questions that we can ask to the panelists? You can ask them detail about the job responsibilities. You can discuss with them about the salary structure also. You can also discuss with them about the career path once you join this organization. But students, what is more important is that please ask them some smart questions. Now, these smart questions also that we need to prepare well in advance. Students एक लक्षात घ्या, commonly interview questions ची पण आपल्याला तयारी करायची. At the same time, students, we have to also find out and prepare some questions that we can ask to the panelists. आलं लक्षात? So please keep in mind that interview is not a one-way process. It's a two-way process, and we have to also ask some questions to the panelist. Try to connect your skills with the company needs. आता याचं मी तुम्हाला आणखीन एक बेस्ट एक्झाम्पल देईन. आता just few minutes back I had given you that example. See, if that job opportunity is into sales and marketing, what will be the requirement of the company? Of course, company's preference will go to those students whose presentation skills are good, whose communication skills are good. So if you are good enough in these skills, definitely your chances of getting selected into that particular organization will be much more if we compare it with the other students. Prepare to talk about specific accomplishments or achievements also, students. You will get a one question on this also. They will ask you, please tell us about your achievements or accomplishments, or they will also ask you, how will you describe yourself? आता ज्या students आपल्याला असा प्रश्न विचारतील, don't lose this opportunity. Here, students, please prepare a talk of around 2 to 3 minutes about your achievements or accomplishments. So what achievements that you can tell to these officials? You can talk about your academic career. You can talk about your sports skills also. You can talk about your project also. You can talk about your seminar activities also. You can talk with them on the activities in which you have participated, which were organized by the institutes. अशा सगळ्या गोष्टीवरती स्टुडंट्स तुम्ही एक 2 ते 3 मिनिटं तुम्हाला बोलता आलं पाहिजे तुमच्याबद्दल. आलं लक्षात? सो try to speak on all these activities through which you can exhibit your team skills. Through these activities you can exhibit your leadership qualities also. आलं लक्षात? आणखीन एक भाग महत्वाचा आहे स्टुडंट्स. ऍट द सेम टाइम मी जसं म्हणलं तसं कमर्शियल नॉलेज तुम्हाला अवेअरनेस असणं गरजेचं आहे. You need to have a good general awareness also, and at the same time, students, we must go one step ahead and try to find out the emerging areas of new scientific areas or the manufacturing technology which is being presently used in that industry. For example, if you are applying for a production job, एका particular companyला तुम्ही असं लक्षात ठेवा की now you are applying as a production officer किंवा as a production assistant in that particular organization. If you are applying for that position, we must know which manufacturing technology or what manufacturing technology is being presently used in that industry. So accordingly, students, what I mean to say is that try to find out that relevant information as per your job profile. Proud of your own profession and the progress that you have carried out in your life. Students, if we summarize my initial part of presentation, what is more required in our life is that we must have a proud of our own profession and whatever progress that we have carried out in our life. Now, you will be under impression किंवा तुम्हाला असं वाटेल की why we should have a proud of your own profession. If there is a proud of your own profession, automatically the positive attitude will be developed. And once there is a positive attitude, students' self-belief will be there. And with this self-belief, you will enter into a right frame of mind. Students, what is more important in life is self-belief. There has to be a self-belief in your own capabilities. If there is a self-belief in your own capabilities, I am sure that automatically you will enter into this right frame of mind. And once there is a right frame of mind, students, I'm sure that not only interview, but for any obstacles and challenges, you can overcome it very easily. So what is more important, students? Yes, I know that in all these basic preparation, the rest of the part is important. But apart from that, we must have a proud of your own profession. See, for example, those who have chosen microbiology as their specialization, you should have a proud of your own profession. Those who have chosen botany as a specialization, you should have a proud of your own profession and your own specialization, and in other specializations also. Those who have chosen physics, you should have a proud of your own physics as a subject. आलं लक्षात? हा अतिशय महत्वाचा भाग आहे आपल्या लाईफ मधला. Students, if you look at great leaders, all these great leaders, those who are at the top position or they were at the top position, why they were at that top position, student? It is only because of they had a self-belief in their own capabilities. They were optimistic in nature, म्हणजे ते आशावादी होते. आणि सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं, students, if you look at their confidence level is more than 100%. I'm not going to say that the confidence level is 100%, but your confidence level has to be more than 100%. So students, with these three special characters or these three special qualities, you can become a great leaders. And great leaders are those leaders who can motivate their employees. Students, what is the main asset of any organization? कुठले organization सर्वात मोठी asset कुठली? Of course, their financial standing can speak itself about their assets. But more importantly, students, the main asset of any organization is of their motivated employees. If your employees are motivated, I'm sure that they can overcome any obstacles and challenges, and they can introduce their product into the market in a much, much better and an effective way. So students, how can you become a great leader? First thing is that you should have proud of your own profession. Second thing is that you must have a self-belief, you must be optimistic in nature, and the confidence level has to be more than 100%. Automatically, you can become a great leader. And you can see the examples of these great leaders is that they always try to motivate their employees because they know that they are 100% sure that motivated employees are the true assets of their organization. Students, if you look at this picture, it's a very interesting picture. As you can see here, 8th is the date. Just imagine. 8th is the date on which we have planned the interviews. 8th is the date on which we have planned the interviews. Now, what will happen or what preparation that we have to carry out? Of course, as far as basic preparation is concerned, we have seen that we need to give the authentic information. We need to read out the job profile very carefully. Then we have to give the preference to the job profile first. So students, this is how the first basic preparation that we have carried out. And more than that, we have visited the company's official website also to find out the information about the company. Now the actual day of interview has come. So just for example, students, here I have taken this picture that on 8th is the date on which we have planned the interviews. आता 8 तारखेला आपले इंटरव्ह्यूज आहेत असं आपण जस्ट स्टुडंट्स इमॅजिन करूया. जस्ट इमॅजिन. सो व्हॉट विल बी युअर फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी? Your first priority is that we have to find out the exact location and landmark and the nearby landmark. See, for example, if your first interview is at institute level, and if you are appearing for the second interview, see, for example, if these interviews are generally at metro cities, we have to find out the exact location and landmark so that we can reach that place at least 10 to 15 minutes well in advance, so there will not be any hurry at the last moment. लक्षात. आणखीन एक भाग अतिशय महत्त्वाचा आहे स्टुडंट्स, on which I'm going to tell you. Those who have decided to progress in life, those who have decided to go ahead in life, कंपनीचं पहिलं मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह काय होतं? Company's first objective is of a progress and expansion, and they have to earn the profit. Now here, those who have decided to go ahead in life, those who have decided to progress in life, and on the day of interview, you will observe these three changes. There will be a slight increase in body temperature. Your palms might be sweaty. There will be a slight increase in change in the respiration rate also. And there might be a slight feeling of nervous energy also. So students, even though these three signals are there, you don't have to worry at all. You don't have to worry at all. You will observe these three changes with those person who has decided to go ahead in life, whose priority is of a progress. So don't fear at all, even if you get or even if you see these three signals. आता इथे आपण काय बघितलं students? First entry point there that these things will happen. Now the time has come how we can present ourselves and how we can present our documents. What is the most important requirement nowadays? That we need to use the formal dress to appear for an interview. आता तुम्ही म्हणाल सर फॉर्मल ड्रेस कशा करता घालायचा आहे? Yes, there are other etiquettes and manners, and apart from these etiquettes and manners, formal dress will help you to gain the trust. And more than that, students, your interview has to be progressed. Your interview has to be processed in a such a way that you should command, you can respect, you need to command the respect from these company officials also. So formal dress is not only required to crack the interview or to successfully clear the interview, but more than that, it is also required with the help of these formal dress students, you must be in a position to gain the trust and you can command the respect from these officials. In most of these interview students, there is one small request from my side. Please avoid the new clothes, because generally we are not comfortable in new clothes, particularly on that day. Why? Because our attention may diverted towards new clothes and our entire focus might get shifted. Our focus has to be on performance actually. Performance focus but that focus may get diverted towards somewhere else. So please avoid the new clothes, particularly on the day of interview. Students, I am going to tell you very simple and basic steps किंवा facts. मी जसं मागाशी तुम्हाला दाखवलं की ते एक स्लाइड की ज्याच्यामध्ये out of those 5 students only 1 person was selected and rest of these 4 were rejected. Why these 4 were rejected? They were rejected only on the basis of the skill sets that they had achieved, and more than that, the etiquettes and manners also. Students, I am going to tell you very simple steps. The first simple step is that we need to carry a pen with you, and all the documents should be arranged in a very logical and in a sequential manner. So what will happen if you have forgotten to carry a pen with you, and once you enter into the interview room and some of these officials, if somebody from their team asks you to write down any formula or to write down any structure, what will happen if you have forgotten to carry a pen? In that case, students, there is a way or a systematic method of asking or requesting for the pen. Sir, will you please give me a pen? This is the way that we need to approach to the panelist. But generally, we should not forget to carry a pen with us while entering into the interview cabin. Second thing is that you can carry one more copy of application with you. There has to be an additional copy of your biodata also must be with you. And please be there with your all certificates of all qualifying exams. You can carry the photocopies of your certificates. No need to carry the original ones. Photocopies means, student, generally we call it as a Xerox copies. Do not present any certificates or documents unless asked for. Sometimes students, some of the students have tendency to show those documents which are absolutely not needed or which are absolutely not required as per that profile. So you can tell them or you can show them those documents if they are being asked by these panelists, or जसं की मी म्हणाल तसं की तुमच्याकडे क्वालिटी कंट्रोलचा सपोज एखादा जॉब आहे, and if you have got any internship certificate from the industry where you have carried out your internship on the quality control department, then of course you can show it to them. But generally it's a practice that please don't show them all these certificates and documents until and unless it is being asked by these panelists. Once your interview is over, you can collect all these certificates. You can request them for these certificates. But the most important part in this entire interview process is that students don't appear desperate. You should reflect the 3 C's during the interview. So which are these 3 C's? These 3 C's are nothing but your approach has to be cool, it should be calm, and more than that, student, you must have a confident approach. Your confidence level has to be more than 100%. Please note this word. Your confidence level has to be more than 100%. So if you follow these 3 C's during the interview process, I'm sure that your performance will be much, much better if you compare it with the other candidates. Now, how we can enter, how we can sit, and how we can exit. As we all know that first impression is the last impression. So Once you enter into the interview cabin, immediately those people should feel that, yes, this is the right students that we are looking for our company. So students, please keep in mind that first impression is going to make a big difference on your career. Turn off or switch off your phones. Nowadays, we all carry mobile phones with all of us. So once they announce your name for the interview, immediately we should switch off or we should turn off your mobile phones. Don't enter into that interview cabin without switching off or without turning off your phones. What will be the second step, students? Second step is that once they announce your name, first आपण काय बघितलं? If we have to switch off or turn off your phone. Now the second step is that we have to knock the door twice, thrice. We have to knock the door twice, thrice. Then and then only you can enter into the interview cabin. आता next step फार महत्वाची. Once you enter into the interview cabin, after knocking the door, we have to greet the interviewers. Here, student, look at your watch. If it is a morning session, you can say good morning to all. If it is afternoon session, accordingly, you can say good afternoon to all. So this is the way that students we need to approach to the panelist. So greeting to the interviewers is very, very much essential. Now the next third stage is also important. Initially, आपण काय बघितलं? We have to turn off or switch off our mobile phones. Then we have to knock the door. Then we have to greet the interviewers once you enter into the interview cabin. Then the next stage is that students sit down only after you are asked to and say thank you before being seated. अतिशय महत्वाचं आहे. Once they offer you the chair, त्यांच्यातलं एक कुणीतरी पॅनलिस्ट तुम्हाला म्हणेलच की please be seated. Once you get such direction from these authorities, say thank you to them before being seated. It is very, very important. Students, please keep in mind that say thank you before being seated. Sit straight. Just imagine, student, now your interview is progressing. पहिला आपण का बघितलं? From where we have started? We have started from formal dress. We have started from finding out the exact location. And now we have come to that stage of actual interview is now started. Say thank you before being seated. Now we have entered into a next stage. While sitting, sit straight. Why we need to sit straight? It shows that you are a confident person. You are a confident person. Don't drop your shoulders. If you drop your shoulders, it means that you are a defeated person. So please sit straight. Don't keep any paper materials on their table. Whatever files that you are carrying with you, don't keep it on their tables directly. Understand? Please keep all those files with you only. This third sentence is very important for all of us students. While answering a question, look at the interviewer. I am going to add one more word in this sentence, students. While answering a question, look at the eyes of the interviewer. Why should I look at the eyes of the interviewer while answering a question? There are two reasons. One is that you are a confident person, you are a well-studied person, and second thing is that you are interested in that company profile and you are interested in their organization also. So whenever you get any question from these officials, while answering these questions, you need to look at the eyes of the interviewer. In my teaching career, I have seen some students, whenever we used to ask some questions to these students at the time of their practical, some students give the answers by looking at the windows. Some students give the answers by looking at the doors. Even in corporate world also, it has happened sometime that someone can look at outside and then he can give the answers. So this should not be practiced at a corporate level. We need to look at the eyes of the interviewer. It entirely explains that, or it will tell us about your experience and about your confidence. At the end of interview, again, students, we have to move out after thanking the interviewers because now your interview is over. Second thing is that, students, there might be a space problem. In some cases, there might be some space problem. So what we'll have to do? We'll have to replace the chair at the original place before leaving that room. हे शेवटचं सेंटेन्स अतिशय महत्वाचं आहे स्टुडंट्स या स्लाइडवरचं. While moving out, step back first. आपण त्या इंटरव्ह्यू रूम मधनं किंवा त्या केबिन मधनं बाहेर कसे येणार आहोत? This sentence will tell us about that. While moving out, step back first. Then turn, then you can take a turn, and then you can walk away. This is a very systematic method that we have to follow once your interview is over. While moving out, step back first, then you can take a turn, and then you can walk away. Students, this picture is very interesting. Look at this picture. This is the picture of poor interview technique. Don't you think that this is the picture of poor interview technique? Of course, this is a good example of poor interview technique. So what conclusion that we can make out through this picture? There are 2-3 conclusions. One is that, student, look at this person's approach. If you look at this person, he might be carrying some superiority complex attitude. Or if you look at his nature, he might be having an aggressive nature also. And look at the way by which he is resting his hands on the chair. Is it the way to approach the interview or to approach the panelist? Is it the way to approach the interview or to approach the panelist? And second thing is that, students, look at the way by which he is approaching to the panelist. We can come out 3-4 main conclusions if we look at this picture very carefully. One thing is that, yes, in most of these interviews, as I told you earlier, we need to maintain that cool, calm, and confident approach. आपण बघितलं की नाही that we need to maintain that cool, calm, and confident approach. But does it mean that we need to be too relaxed? Why is too relaxed? He is too relaxed only because that he is not interested in that particular profile, or he is not serious about his career. More than that, he is not serious about his career. He is not serious about his career. That's why he is very casual for his interview. Understood? And that student, and more than that, students, he has got overconfident attitude. Do you think that such type of candidates will get selected? No, not at all. In fact, such candidates will be rejected in few minutes only. Now, this second picture is very important, students. I'm going to show you the next picture. This picture is going to make a big difference in your career. Don't look at this picture very seriously. The second picture is important. Look at this picture, students. If you look at this person, what conclusions that we can draw from this picture? Look at the way by which he is approaching to the panelist. He is smiling. Smiling means, students, he is interested in that profile. He is welcoming any questions. He is interested in that organization also. And more than that, students, look at the way by which he has folded his hands. Look at the way by which he has folded his hands. His entire personality appears to be in a very positive manner, and his hands are in a very stable position. His hands are in a very stable position. He is smiling. He is confident at the same time, student. He is not overconfident also. If you compare this picture, look at this picture. Can we approach in this way to the interview? No, we cannot. Second thing, can we approach in this fashion? Yes, this is the best example of good interview technique. Look at the way by which he has arranged himself, students. Look at the way by which he is presenting his own candidature. He is smiling, he is welcoming any question. He is confident. Look at the hand, students. If you look at this person's hand, look at the way by which he has rested his hands on the chair. This is not the right approach. If you look at this person, he has folded his hands. So his entire personality appears to be in a very positive manner. He is smiling and he is confident also. Now, students, in case of answering a questions, what precautions or how we have to carry out ourselves while answering a questions? First thing is that we have to listen the questions carefully. If we have not understood it, then definitely politely we can request for repeat. But this word politely is very important. First thing is that we have to listen all these questions very carefully. But sometimes if there is a problem, then, or if you are not understood the question very carefully, then you can politely request these officials for the repeat. But our request has to be in a very politely nature. Don't answer the questions with simple yes or no. Students, as I told you, in all these interview processes, some HR officials are always there. Now, these HR officials will ask you some questions on which they will try to find out, or they will try to judge your thinking process or thought process. They will try to judge your thinking process or thought process. So, if you are unable to, if you are not able to give these answers in a very elaborative manner, definitely it will have a very bad impact on your final results of interview. So students, whenever you get such kind of questions where long answers are expected or some answers to be given in a very elaborative manner, please explain in that fashion only, so that your communication skills will be judged, so that your thinking process will be judged, so that they will try to understand your goals also, so that your thought process will also be judged. But generally, students, answers are giving in a shorter format only. नेहमी आपण जे answers देणार आहोत ना, these answers should be given in a shorter format only. But sometimes we may get such kind of questions where they will try to test your thinking process or your thought process, or they will try to find out your goals also. In that case, students, please don't lose this opportunity. We need to explain it in a very elaborative manner. Show confidence but not arrogance. It is very important, students. There has to be a thin line, or there is a thin line between confidence and arrogance, and this thin line has to be maintained. At any point throughout your interview process, your confidence level has to be more than 100%. But at any point of time, students, they should not feel that you are an arrogant person. If at any point of time, if they felt that you seems to be an arrogant person, 100% student, you will lose that opportunity and they will close down your interview. So show confidence but not arrogance. It is very, very important. And that thin line between confidence and arrogance, we have to maintain that thin line. As I am sure that you are from such a highly reputed institute and your academic career is good, you are a well-studied student. But sometimes you may not be able to give the answers of some questions. For example, if somebody asks you if you have applied for some agriculture industry, any company which comes under agriculture sector, and if somebody asks you what is the present turnover of agriculture industry in India, in that case, if you are not able to answer it, or if you are not knowing the exact details about the turnover, then how you can present that answer? In this case, students, you can use these statements like, sir, I think, or as far as I know, the present turnover of this particular industry is this. So my one more request to all of you is that if you are not 100% sure, then you can use these terms, that is, or statements like I think or as far as I know. Speak clearly and loudly. It is very much required, and don't waste the interviewer's time. Answer should not be given in a raised voice even when question comes in that manner. Sometimes it may happen that some of these panelists have a tendency to ask the question in a raised voice. So even when the question comes in that manner, don't answer in that way. We need to give our answers in a very polite way. That's why, students, here I have mentioned that answers should not be given in a raised voice even when the question comes in that manner. It is very important. Avoid giving additional information. Don't give any additional information. Kutli additional information, students, apan द्यायची नाही. You can present that information which is absolutely needed or required for that particular profile only. आपण सुरुवातीला काय म्हणालो होतो? Because we have to read out and understand the job profile very carefully. So try to present that information which is absolutely essential or needed for that particular profile only. Don't give any additional information. Sometimes this additional information can be dangerous, and it will have a very bad impact on your final selection on the from that interview. For compliments, say thank you to the interviewers. आता ही कॉम्प्लिमेंट्स काय असू शकतात स्टुडंट्स? सी फॉर एक्झाम्पल, if this panelist going through your CV and if you have mentioned your CV about your academic career, about your sports skills, about your internship, then some of these panelists may say, good, you have done very good, you have very good academic career, or you have done well in your sports also. In that case, students, please note that they are appreciating your performance. So whenever they appreciate your performance, we need to say thank you to the panelist. So it's a part of good etiquettes and manners. Even in case of some questions also, students, if you are not knowing the answers of those questions, you can request for another question. So for rejecting any answers, for rejecting those questions, you can say sorry to the panelist. Now, as far as interactions is concerned, what is more important, students? More important part is of a body language. The body language, just few minutes back here, I have given even this example. Look at the body language of this person. Look at the body language of this person and look at the body language of this person. So naturally, this candidate will be preferred over the students for their final selection. So as far as body language is concerned, students, we need to sit straight and we need to look at the eyes of the interviewer. We need to sit straight, and second thing is that we need to look at the eyes of the interviewer while answering the questions. Why we need to look at the eyes of the interviewer? Because it shows that you are a confident person, you are a thoroughly studied person, and more than that, you are interested in that particular profile and organization. Keep smiling face so as to welcome any question. Please avoid any disagreement with the interviewer. Students, we are not there to contradict our answers, to have any contradiction with these panelists. We are there for our final selection. So please avoid any disagreement or any contradictions with the panelist or with the interviewer. You can use very simple language. No need to use heavy English words. You can use very simple English language which can be easily understood by the all. There is one more important part on which I would like to bring your attention, and that is generally our human tendency is that we criticize someone. So see, for example, it may happen with those people, those who leave there, those who have left their first job, and those who are appearing for the next interview or for the next job. Generally, our human tendency is that we criticize some people, we criticize some department. So please do not criticize any person, group, or a nation. So what impression that it will carry? These officials will feel that or might feel that your nature is of a criticizing nature. So please do not criticize anyone during the interview process. List the achievements with the evidence. See, for example, if some of you have got some good internship certificate, and if you have mentioned in your biodata, and if somebody asks you, please show me that appreciation certificate, then immediately we need to give the proof of it. See, for example, as far as sports skills is concerned, तुम्ही जर तुमच्या बायोडाटा मध्ये तुमचे sports skills mention केले असतील, and if somebody asks you, will you please show me the certificates about your sports achievements, then immediately we need to show those certificates. Don't be too familiar with the panelist. It is अतिशय महत्वाचे आहे. Don't be too familiar with the panelist. Otherwise, that entire professional approach or that seriousness in that interview will go lost. So you need to follow, you need to maintain a good rapport with the interviewers, with the panelists. But at the same time, students, don't be too familiar with the panelists. Otherwise, that seriousness or that, what I can say, that professional approach will go lost. Now, how we can close the interview? In some interviews, these officials will directly tell you that from which date you are going to join. In that case, students, you can discuss with them about the salary structure also. You can discuss with them about the location of the job also. But there might be some situations where you may not get selected, or sometimes even they will not discuss about your salary also. In that case, students, Don't be too discouraged, even if there is a no definite offer or no specific salary is discussed, or don't let your discouragement if not selected. आपलं जरी सिलेक्शन काही ठिकाणी झालं नाही तरी don't show the discouragement. आलं लक्षात? So don't let your discouragement if not selected. Again, student, at the end of interview, we have to thank the panelists because they have given their precious time for us. They have considered our profile. So this was, students, about the first interview. Now, what is required if we appear for the second interview? See, for example, if the entire interview process is through the institute level, then of course I can understand that senior professors or the authorities, those who are controlling these activities, they will take the follow-up. But if you have applied on your own, then we have to take the follow-up. Now, this follow-up might be through a written communication or it might be through a telephonic follow-up also. आता जर तुमचा written communication follow-up असेल, तर we need to write the emails in a very professional manner. If the follow-up is through oral communication or through telephonic communication, then first, students, we have to find out the availability of the concerned person. How we can find out the availability? You can talk to them and you can just initially ask them, sir, I am this, I appeared for the interview on this date. So are you available? Or sir, what is the right time so that we can discuss? So this is the way that we need to follow our discussion, or we need to progress our discussion. But please try to find out whether that person is available for discussion. Now, what steps that we can follow when we appear for the second interview? This is what we have discussed. Initially, it was about the first interview. Now, while appearing for the second interview, again, we need to be positive and remember that you have already made a good impression. Remember that we have already made a good impression. But it doesn't mean that you have already selected the job. You have got the job. So this is the main difference between these two sentences. On one side, we are saying that, students, we need to be positive and we have made a good impression. That's why we are into second interview stage. But that doesn't mean that don't assume yourself that you have already got the job. So please maintain that professionalism. Maintain your professionalism. म्हणून मी मगाशी म्हणालो होतो, don't be too familiar with the panelists, otherwise that seriousness or that professional approach will go lost. So try to maintain your professional approach and don't assume that you have already got the job. But it is also 100% sure that you have made a positive impression. Make your responses and your questions very specific and detailed as possible. Students, second interview is the right step or right stage where we need to clear our doubts. Your doubts might be related with job profile. Your doubts might be related with your salary structure also. Your doubts might be related with your career path also. Your doubts might be related with your progress also. तर हे जे काही तुमच्या मनामध्ये जे प्रश्न असतील, please make your responses. Please ask these questions to the panelist in the second interview itself. So to ask these questions to the panelist, what is required? You need to build a good rapport with the panelist. म्हणून मी म्हणतोय मागासपासून, student, don't be too familiar with the panelist. Maintain that professional approach. At the same time, we have to develop a good rapport with the panelist throughout the discussion so that we can get the answers about all our queries and all our doubts also. Now, which are those negative factors which may have a bad impact on our final interview results? As I said in the beginning, students, formal dress is required. Formal dress is required for what purpose? Not only to successfully clear the interview, but it will also help you to gain the trust. It will also help you to command the respect also. So poor personal appearance may have a bad impact on your final results of the interview. As far as aggressive and superiority complex is concerned, you can look at that picture, students. Which is picture? This picture. Look at the approach of this person. This person is carrying a aggressive nature. He is in a very aggressive, he might be carrying some aggressive attitude, or he is having some superiority complex attitude. So don't be in that stage. Don't carry the aggressive or a superiority complex attitude. 100% it will have a very bad impact on the results. answering the questions even before us. Sometimes some of the students have tendency to answer the questions even before it is asked. Let them first complete the questions. You can understand it first clearly, then you can present those answers. Inability to express thoughts. As I said in one of my slide earlier, these officials will ask you some questions through which they will try to judge your communication skills. They will try to judge your thinking process, thought process, or your goals, or your approach towards life. If you are unable to express it in a very elaborative manner or in a clear way, in that case, it will have a very bad impact on your interview process. Lack of interest and enthusiasm. I have seen some students, those who sometimes they appear for the interview just for the sake of getting the experience of the interview. Just for the sake of getting the experience of the interview. If you are following this kind of practices, definitely it will have a bad impact on the interview process, on the final results of the interview. Lack of courtesy. Courtesy manje saujanya. Here I can give you the examples of how if there is a good courtesy, definitely it will have a good impact on your results. See, whenever you enter into the interview cabin, immediately we should greet the interviewers. Say thank you before being seated. Understood? Whenever they compliment or appreciate your performance, again we have to say thank you to the panelists. Why? Because they are appreciating your performance. And once your interview is over, then we should say thank you to the panelists because they have considered their valuable time for you. So these are some of the examples of courtesy. Lack of knowledge about the company. मी तुम्हाला सुरुवातीलाच म्हणालो. What is more important? We need to prepare our resume as per the job profile. We need to give the authentic information. पण पुढची स्टेप अतिशय महत्वाची. That is, before you actually appear for the interview process, find out the information about the company. आता information आपण काय find out करणार आहोत? We can find out the company profile. We can find out into which business area that this company is operating. We can find out the company's products also. We can find out the different branch locations where this company is going to carry out or where this company is carrying out their manufacturing activities also. So please find out the company's information. You must have all the details as far as that company is concerned while appearing for that specific company's interview. Let's look at some of the commonly asked interview questions. Commonly asked interview questions. अगदी सुरुवातीला मी तुम्हाला दोन प्रश्न विचारले होते बघा. What do you know about yourself? किंवा why do you want this particular job? Why we need to prepare for commonly interview questions well in advance? Because there will not be any hurry at the last moment. So what will be the first question? First question will be that, tell me about yourself. Generally, it happens that here students tell the name of their names, and in very few lines they talk about their education. Here students, this is the best opportunity for you. Here you can talk about your skills, because the person who is going to conduct your interview, he wants to find out the skills and the attitude required for job. Here you can, students, apart from your education, apart from your skills, try to prove that how your candidature is quite suitable for that particular position. It is very, very important. Apart from education and skills, you can tell them that how your entire profile, how your candidature is exactly suitable or is quite suitable for that particular position. आता याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही त्यांना काय सांगू शकता? Here you can talk about your team skills. Here you can talk about your leadership qualities also. Here you can talk about तुमच्याकडे काही जर sports skills असतील, those sports skills also you can talk with these panelists. What I mean to say is that apart from education and skill, you try to develop this interaction in a such a way that your skills, your education, your qualities should be matched with the profile which has been offered by the company. तुमचं skills, तुमचे education आणि तुमच्या qualities त्या कंपनीने जे skills expect केलेले आहेत ना, त्याला match झाल्या पाहिजे, याची काळजी आपण या क्वेश्चन मध्ये घ्यायची. What are your biggest strengths and weaknesses? Students, at the beginning, as I told you about the strengths and weaknesses, while presenting your strength, present it in a very humble manner. While describing your weaknesses, you can tell them those weaknesses where chances of growth is there, where chances of improvement is there. Aलं लक्षात? And the most important part is that generally तुम्ही कुठल्या strength सांगाल त्यांना, you can tell them that, sir, I am a self-motivated person. I am a good listener also. I follow strong ethical principles also. And please be clear and precise while presenting your strength. Why we should tell them that I'm a good listener? Students nowadays, apart from good communication skills, listening skills are highly respected and highly needed. Aलं लक्षात? So tell them that without fail, sir, I'm a good listener also. Why we should hire you? आम्ही तुम्हाला का सिलेक्ट करायचं? So what will be your answer? Again, student, this is the best opportunity for you. Here again, you can talk about the skills that you have developed throughout your academic career. Here again, you can talk about your education also. You can talk about your specific mastery in some of the areas also. And please tell them that, sir, I am very much confident that I have got all these skills. Apart from that, students, sir, I have participated in number of activities and I'm 100% sure that I will be a great addition to your team. Why do you want this particular job? तुम्हाला ही नोकरी का हवी है? In most of the cases, students talk about, sir, your company is great, your brand name is great, that's why I want to work for your organization. Students, please keep in mind that these people are experienced people and they know that their company is great and what is the actual standing of their company. There is no need to tell them that your company is great, your brand name is great, that's why I want this job. Instead of that, you can tell them that, sir, the position or the profile which has been offered by your company is absolutely suited with my goals and I can fulfill my short term and more than that, I can fulfill my long term goals. आता आपण यांना इथे असं का सांगायचं आहे की why I can fulfill my long term goal? That exhibits that you will be with that organization for long time. So this is the best opportunity for you through which you can fulfill your short term and long term goal. So please tell them that, sir, this is the best profile. It is absolutely suited for me. And this is the best opportunity for me through which I can fulfill my short term, but most important is that I can fulfill my long term goals also. How would you describe yourself? Here again, student, this is the best opportunity for you. Here you can talk about, speak logically and clearly about yourself. मी सुरुवातीला मगाशी तुम्हाला म्हणालो होतो की नाही, we need to prepare a talk of around 2 to 3 minutes. एक 2 ते 3 मिनिट आपल्याला बोलता आलं पाहिजे. कशावरती? You can speak about your accomplishments. You can speak about your achievements. And these achievements should be related with your academic career, your sports career, your internship, or if you have participated in any of these activities, or you can talk about your project also. In sometimes you can talk about your team skills also. Through this talk, you can exhibit your leadership qualities also. So there are many areas or aspects on which you can talk, but please speak in a very logical way and in a very sequential manner. How would you stay with the company? How long would you stay with the company? तुम्हाला आठवते मी सुरुवातीला एक तुम्हाला सांगितलं होतं की नाही की you are a fresher. So when you start your career, initially be with that organization at least for 1.5 years or 1 year. मी त्याची तुम्हाला 3 कारणं सांगितली होती. एक म्हणजे if you leave that place, it will have a bad impact on the industry-institute relationship. Second thing is that company will lose the important human resource कारण कंपनीने आपल्याला ट्रेनिंग दिलेलं असतं. And third thing is that students, any experience which is below for 1 year at the initial stage of your career, and if you go and appear for the another interview, will not be counted valuably. So generally this question is expected in most of these interviews that if you get selected, how long would you stay with the company? What will be your answer? Your answer will be, sir, I would like to settle down with this company. This is the best opportunity for me again, through which I can fulfill my long-term goals. And sir, as long as I am growing professionally, there is no reason for me to make a move. Are you willing to relocate? sometimes students in most of the interviews, company gives the details about the location for which they are going to conduct the interviews. In some cases, if these officials are happy with your performance, if they see some additional skills that you have developed throughout your career, and if they offer you some another location, so why they have offered you another location? The reason might be that they are happy with your skills, and they किंवा त्यांना असं वाटत असेल की you could be the right person who can handle the rejection, who can handle the new teams also. So in that case, company may offer you the another location. Students, in fact, this is the best opportunity for you because company has appreciated your skills. Company has seen your qualities and they are offering you the another location where काय होतंय अशा केस मध्ये sometimes these managers may get त्यांना असा confidence येतो की this is the right person who can handle the production activities at another location. So what will be your answer? Your answer will be, yes sir, I am ready to relocate at another place also. What do you feel your chances of succeeding in this industry? आता इथे आपलं उत्तर काय असणार आहे? Again student, you need to believe yourself and concentrate on your strengths. What questions do you have for me? आपण जसं सुरुवातीला म्हणालो होतो की नाही, interview is not a one-way process. Don't hesitate to ask the questions. So if you get such kind of questions from the panelists that do you have any questions for me, then don't lose this opportunity or don't waste this opportunity. Ask them some smart questions. आता smart questions काय असतील? You can discuss with them in detail about the job profile. तुम्ही तुमच्या career path बद्दल विचारा. You can also discuss with them about the salary also. You can also discuss with them about what additional skill sets are required. But please make sure that ask them some smart questions. Now, what are the challenges for the freshers in the corporate world? Students, today here we are in a very protective environment. Understand? But once you join the industry, challenges are there, 100%. Of course, challenges are there. Now, which are those challenges? First thing is that we have to accept and we have to adopt that corporate culture with ease. And most importantly, students, targets are there. अगदी सुरुवातीला मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं होतं, आठवतंय की we need to achieve the consistent results. Means we need to achieve the targets without compromising on the quality and by following the standard practices. So we have to achieve the targets. It doesn't matter into which field you have joined, students, today. If you go for production, targets are there. If you go for sales and marketing, targets are there. If you go for purchase, target. If you go for any other departments, in each and every department, students, you will see that targets are there. But you can achieve these targets within certain time management. We need to follow the time management practices. These targets needs to be achieved in certain time frame. So time management is one of the challenge for us. Third challenge is that student, we have to accept the hard facts and try to learn it quickly. See, for example, if you get selected, company will offer you the training. आता ते जर ट्रेनिंग देत असताना त्यातल्या काही सिनियर ऑफिसर्सना जर ऑफिशियल्सना असं वाटलं, if they felt that your performance needs to be improved in some of these specific areas. See, for example, if somebody tells you की तुम्हाला तुमचे प्रेझेंटेशन स्किल्स इम्प्रूव्ह केले पाहिजेत, please try to accept it in a very positive way. Don't accept it in a criticizing nature. आलं लक्षात? Accept it in a very positive way and try to learn it very quickly. So accepting the hard facts, it is also a challenge for freshers. Accepting the workplace culture, we have talked. This feedback mechanism is important. In student life, there is no feedback mechanism. But once you join the industry, we need to give the feedback. To whom we need to give the feedback? We need to give the feedback to higher authorities. Why? Because company is always looking for targets. They have to achieve those targets in certain time frame. So we need to give the feedback about our day's work. This feedback can be given through oral communication or it can be through written communication as per the company's requirement. But what is more important, students, that we need to develop this attitude that is of feedback mechanism. Management skills are also essentials. आता कुठले management skills गरजेचे? One is that planning is required. Planning is nothing but what is to be done, who is going to do it, for whom we are going to do it. So that's why planning is required. Controlling is also required. Controlling means, students, if there are some what I can say more rejections in the production department, we have to take some control measures. Third thing is that, students, we need to develop decision making ability. The decision making ability kadi develop will, it will be developed only when if there is a 3H attitude: hand, head, and heart. Heart means involvement. If there is a better involvement, your experience will be better, and with your better experience, your decision making ability will be improved. As far as technical skills are concerned, students, nowadays you can understand the way by which technology is speeding up very fastly. So try to learn that new technology also. Sometimes, students, in some of the companies, it may happen that the technology which was being presently used in that industry, this technology will be replaced by some new technology. So we need to understand that new technology also. So apart from management skills, try to improve your technical skills also. Working in a team, initially in first 5 to 6 minutes itself, these people will try to find out whether you have got some team skills or not. So working in a team is very important. And more than that, students, we need to have a self-motivational approach. That is also one of the biggest challenge. Students, why attitude is more important than aptitude? As you can see in this picture, why attitude is more important than aptitude? These are the 3 reasons, students, on the basis which can say that attitude is more important than aptitude. If you have a good attitude, then definitely you will be a motivated person. You will be easily adaptable to the corporate culture. And more than that, you can learn new skills also. Attitude can impact overall performance. See, for example, if you are good in aptitude, but at the same time, you are highly lacking in attitude, good attitude, what will happen? It will disrupt the teamwork. It may cause total unrest. And finally, it will have a bad impact on your overall performance. Right attitude can overcome obstacles also, students. The one slide on which I was talking about proud of your own profession and the progress that you have carried out in your life. If there is a right attitude, you can have a self-belief in your own capabilities. And with the self-belief, students, you can enter into right frame of mind. So with the right attitude, you can overcome the obstacles and challenges, and you can achieve the success. This is the best slide, students, that you will remember it for a long time. A to Z letters are there. A, B, C, D, A to Z letters are there. 26 letters, so that's why 26 numbers are there. A1, B2, and finally it goes up to 26. Students, right from beginning, I'm talking about as attitude. Let's look at the second slide. This second slide is very important. Look at the spelling of attitude, A-T-T-I-T-U-D-E, and look at the numbers which are written below on these letters. A1, T20. So if you look at the spelling of attitude, and if you look at the numbers which are written below here, and if you carry out the addition of it, the total reach to 100%. So what is more important, students? We need to change our attitude. Success will not be far ahead from you. Let's look at some of the essential qualities needed not only to enter but to further progress. काय महत्वाचं आहे? Good health is required. Once you get selected, you will be asked to carry out a medical checkup. So you need to be physically and mentally fit. Second thing is that you should have a problem solving approach. Company in advertisement kasha karta dile. One thing is that they might be facing some problems, or they are looking for what I can say better person who can achieve better targets, or they want to minimize the rejection also. So you should have problem solving skills, students. It is very important for all of us. Willingness to learn and ability to take initiative is also important. As I said, if there is a good willingness to learn, you can learn the functioning of other departments also. Those days have gone, students, when people used to do their routine jobs. Nowadays, situation has been changed. You need to learn new skills also. Means जसं मगाशी म्हणालो तसं, you should learn management skills. You should learn technical skills also. So ability to take initiatives and willingness to take to take part in these initiatives is very important. Commitment and self-discipline. I have talked a lot on this. Commitment towards profession, commitment towards job is required. Communication skills, presentation skills, interpersonal skills are important. आता interpersonal skills काय असतात? Interpersonal skills are nothing but, see, for example, if you are selected for a particular quality control department, you need to maintain a good relationship with the purchase department also, with the store department also, with the production department also. So there has to be a good communication between these departments. As far as basic domain knowledge is concerned, student, there should not be any compromise on basic domain knowledge. You are lucky that you are associated with this one of the best institute. If you have some doubts about some specific theory or some topics, try to get it clear from your professors. Generally, we are under impression that in interview, they are going to ask us very difficult questions. It's not like that. In fact, they will ask you very simple questions. They will ask you very simple questions. And through these simple questions only, they will try to find out, or they will try to judge your basic domain knowledge. As far as management skills are concerned, मी आत्ताच तुम्हाला सांगितलं, planning, controlling, decision making, and time management. Time management कशा करता है? Because we need to achieve those targets in certain time frame. So time management skills are essential. Decision making तुमचं कधी improve होईल? If there is a 3H attitude, hand, head, and heart. Students, can you see here? This is the best picture of a rainbow. As you can see here, 7 colors are there, and this person is quite satisfied person. Why? Because with these 7 qualities, students, good health, innovative, willingness to learn, commitment, skills, domain knowledge, and management skills, he has entered into a corporate world. So these 7 colors means, students, 7 qualities that he has achieved throughout his career, and because of which he has entered into a corporate world. But students, if you introspect yourself, I have purposefully made it in a red color. If you introspect yourself, जर तुम्ही तुमचं आत्मनिरीक्षण केलं तर तुमच्या असे लक्षात येईल की there are other 7 qualities also which are already within you. Can you see here, one more rainbow is there? This is one more rainbow, and this rainbow is slightly disappearing. Look at this rainbow. This rainbow is quite darker because these are the 7 qualities that you have developed. But these 7 qualities are also there within you, but there is a need to introspect it, to carry out your own self-assessment. If you introspect it very carefully, these 7 qualities you can find out within you. So if there is a combination of these 7 plus this 7, total goes to 14. There is no need of references from any higher authorities. You can achieve best positions in the corporate world in a shortest possible time. Let's talk about few minutes about CV, students. Your CV has to be arranged in a chronological manner. For example, if you have got MSc degree, you can put it at a top level, then write down about your BSc and 12th and 10th. In the students, there are number of formats are available on the internet. But in most of the formats, what is common? At the top of it, you can see that applicant name is there, contact number is there, and email is there. While writing your email, students, your email address has to be in a very professional manner. Please note that your email address has to be in a very professional manner. While writing your address, no need to write the word address. You can directly put your address. In the CV, student, this second part is very important, and this is the most important part of your CV. It is called as CV personal profile, or it can be also called as a CV summary statement. It will talk about your personal characteristics. It will talk about your attributes. It will talk about your qualities. It will talk about your experience. So students, try to present your details in this CV summary statement in a very positive way, and please put it in a very confident manner. This is the most important part of your CV. Educational skills मी तुम्हाला आता सांगितलं. Put your degree, highest degree at the top. Arrange it in a chronological manner. Give the details about the institute, about percentage. Don't forget to mention about your project details if you have done your project. Mention the details about team size, duration काय होतं, projectचं title काय होतं. And the most important part is that what you have learned out through that project. It is very important. तुम्ही त्या project मधनं काय शिकला हे अतिशय महत्त्वाचं आहे. Try to mention about your skills that you have developed. Achievements करता एक column तुम्ही तुमच्या biodata मध्ये ठेवायचा students. Please keep one column for your achievements. Here you can talk about your special prizes. If you have got any appreciation certificate, you can mention there. If you have participated in any of these activities, you can mention here. In additional section, you can give the details about certificates, hobbies, languages. Now, general tips काय आहेत while preparing your CV. सर्वात महत्त्वाचं म्हणजे काय? Read out the job profile very carefully. After reading out the job profile carefully, try to understand it very carefully. And then only you can prepare your resume. Use bullet points and numbered list. Bullet points and numbered list वापरायची. So that your CV will be transparent and it will be short and simple and powerful. As a fresher, you need to concentrate on your qualification, grades, and your achievements. Achievements बाबत मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं होतं की please being as a fresher, you need to concentrate on your qualification, grades, and achievements. Your resume should be crisp and it should be of one page only. Being as a fresher, CV should be of a one page only. In some cases, we can understand that it can be of a 2-page, but generally it is of a 1-page. Mention the languages which you speak, write, and read well also. Maintain proper spacing and margins while writing these lines. And the most important part is that you can use the best fonts, the generally which are being practiced in the industry. No need to use the fancy ones. Use the simple and best fonts. Don't use the same resume for all jobs. मी मगाशी म्हटलं तसं. You cannot use the resume which is prepared for production job for marketing job. Marketing job करता resume वेगळा असणार आहे. Production job करता resume वेगळा असणार. This second sentence is very important, students. Don't forget to carry out the proofreading if your resume has to be free from grammatical mistakes and errors. Can you remember on very first slide of my presentation where there was a picture of one student was observing it under the microscope? Now, why we need to carry out the proofreading? It should be free from grammatical mistakes and errors. So, while appearing for your before appearing for your interview, students, please carry out the proofreading of your CV from your senior professors or anyone, the one who is working with the industry for long time. If you are an experienced person, focus on your achievements, focus on your experience and skills that you have achieved during the employment. This is the last slide, students. What is required in this entire presentation or what is required in life? The most important part is of students' attitude. Attitude means, students, we have to believe in yourself. The world will be at your feet. So this is what is being said by Swami Vivekananda ji. If there is a self-belief in your own capabilities, I am sure that success will not be far ahead from you. I am not only talking about the interview, but it's a journey, students. It's a journey of life. So whenever some obstacles will be there, whenever some challenges will be there, I'm sure that these challenges will come in your life. But if there is a self-belief in your own capabilities, I'm sure that you can conquer or you can overcome all these obstacles and difficulties. So thank you very much to all of you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with you on this very special subject, Campus to Corporate. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bhagwat sir, for giving a very inspiring discussion And when I was looking at your slides, I realized that you presented all the facts in a very crystal clear way, in a very simple way. I think I was enjoying a lot your presentation.
Thank you.
Because I could see that you have, you have partitioned the entire such an important, I would say, topic in a very precise manner, where any beginner who is probably listening to this lecture would understand that how professional this entire process is. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I have a couple of questions, which
yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. The first question is, these days, mainly because of pandemic, what is happening is every student is basically applying for almost every type of a job. And for whenever, even though he has to prepare a CV, which is, or resume particular to, let's say, marketing, production, and probably R&D, what he says that he makes some minor changes. But two students asked me this question, and even I was kind of figuring out how I should answer, is that most of the time in advertisement, either they give a email address or they give a kind of a office address to communicate. So in situation, whether they should, every time when they should write sir or madam, or they should write, say, head or professor, or whether they should write director, or what kind of a
initial start has to be
initial start they should do.
Yeah. The best way to put these two words: respected sir oblique madam.
Okay.
Respected sir or oblique madam. See, for example, you will be what I can say. You will be surprised to know that even in the HR departments also, many other officials are working. Somebody might be handling the performance appraisal. Somebody might be handling the training and development department. Somebody might be handling the recruitment department also. So even if any person from all these rest of these departments, if he or she come across or if he or she जर त्यांनी तो CV बघितला, तर this is the best way that we need to approach in this fashion. Straight away you can put down respected sir oblique madam. Yeah.
दूसरा एक प्रश्न आहे सर, बऱ्याच
वेळा
इंटरव्ह्यूजला अप्लाय करतात आणि because of overwhelming number of applications, sometimes students don't get any response, and they ask me how long we should wait for hearing from the.
Yeah. See, the thing is that even when I started my career, this was also a same kind of feeling when I started my career. But the students, please keep in mind that the best opportunity will come. But the most important part is that how you have written your first application. The first application which you are going to write with your CV is also going to make a big difference. You can, what I can say, तुम्ही ज्या applications मध्ये ती जी sentence ची जी रचना करणार आहात, the way by which the entire application has to be arranged, the first application which has to be attached with your CV, it needs to be arranged in a very logical and in a very sequential manner. त्याच्यानंतर तुम्हाला वेट करावं लागणार नाही. I am 100% sure that company is always looking for best people. Because they want to earn the profit, and more than that, they want to progress, they want to expand. आणि मी जसं सुरुवातीला, many companies, they have not started their activities in India, but they have now gone to global also. They have started their operations at a global level. So company is always looking for good students. You do not require anybody's references if your CV is arranged in such a systematic way. ज्याच्यामध्ये मी सुरुवातीला तुम्हाला म्हणालो तसं, at the top of it you can write down your name. Don't no need to write the word address. Directly you can put your address, contact number, email ID. आता email ID वरून सुद्धा आपल्याला we can understand the nature of that person. Please put your email IDs in a very professional manner. आता त्या email ID नंतर immediate खालचा जो portion आहे, second portion, that immediately the first portion you can say that is of a CV summary statement or a CV personal profile. This is the most important part of your CV, which will speak about your attributes, about your qualities, about your skills, about your achievements. तो इतक्या पॉझिटिव्हली 2 ते 3 सेंटेन्स. समटाइम्स काय होतं, मुलं पॅराग्राफच्या पॅराग्राफ लिहित जातात आणि अशा केसमध्ये दीज पीपल दे डझंट, म्हणजे त्यांच्याकडे इतका वेळ नाही की ते सगळं वाचत बसतील. इन्स्टेड ऑफ दॅट यू कॅन पुट इट इन ए 2 to 3 लाईन्स, मॅक्सिमम 3 लाईन्स. त्या 3 लाईन्स मध्ये ऑफकोर्स सर इट्स अगेन अन आर्ट दॅट हाऊ यू आर पुटिंग युअर तुमचं क्वालिफिकेशन, तुमचा एक्सपिरियन्स, तुमच्या अचिव्हमेंट्स त्या 3 ओळीत तुम्ही कसं प्रेझेंट करताय, दॅट ऑल्सो मॅटर्स लॉट. पण मी मगाशी म्हणलं तसं यूज सिम्पल लँग्वेज, व्हेरी सिम्पल लँग्वेज which can be easily understood by all. काही वेळेस लोक काय करतात, ह्या सीव्ही समरी स्टेटमेंट मध्ये अनावश्यक म्हणजे कारण नसताना दे यूज हेवी इंग्लिश वर्ड्स, अँड दीज हेवी इंग्लिश वर्ड्स समटाइम्स दे आर नॉट इवन डायजेस्टेबल इवन टू सिनियर अथॉरिटीज ऑल्सो. त्यामुळे काय होतं, काय काय वेळेस मध्ये unnecessarily we may find ourselves into difficult positions. So use very simple language, very simple language. आणि ते सीव्ही समरी स्टेटमेंट फार महत्वाचं आहे. तर मी असं म्हणेन की तुमचं ऍप्लिकेशन, ते ऍप्लिकेशन कसे अरेंज केले सिस्टमॅटिकली, त्या पूर्ण ऍप्लिकेशन मधून असं एक्झिबिट झालं पाहिजे की यू आर ऑलवेज लुकिंग फॉर गुड अपॉर्च्युनिटी. तुम्ही तुमचे गोल्स, तुमच्या 1-2 लाईन्स त्या ह्याच्यामध्ये अशा एक्झिबिट झाल्या पाहिजेत की तुमचे गोल्स, तुमचे ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह they are absolutely matching with your company's goals and objectives. There should not be any mismatch. For example, एखाद्या कंपनीचं तुमचं कॅन्डिडेट खूप सुटेबल आहे, but your goals are different. तुमचं कंपनीचं विजन वेगळं आहे, but your objectives are different. So there might be a mismatch. So that should not happen. ते गोल्स आणि ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह आपले आणि कंपनीचे बरोबर मॅच करायचे. त्याच्याकरता कंपनी प्रोफाईल वाचणं फार गरजेचं आहे. म्हणून माझी सगळ्या स्टुडंट्सना रिक्वेस्ट आहे, तुम्हाला जर आता वेळ असेल ना, काही कंपन्यांचे तुम्ही कंपनी प्रोफाईल वाचा. हाऊ दीज कंपनी प्रोफाईल दे हॅव रिटन डाऊन, त्यांनी कशी सुरुवात केली आहे, कसं हाऊ दे हॅव प्रेझेंटेड देअर, म्हणजे त्यांनी तर कसा प्रोग्रेस केलाय, काय केलंय. हे जशी तुम्ही कंपनी प्रोफाईल वाचाल ना, तसं तुम्हाला असं लक्षात येईल की हाऊ माय सीव्ही हॅज टू बी प्रेझेंटेड. पण हे तुम्हाला वाचूनच कळणार आहे. सुरुवातीला इनिशियली यू माइट फाइंड सम डिफिकल्टीज. असं होणार नाही की तुम्ही एका इंटरव्ह्यूला गेलाय आणि इमिजिएटली यू गॉट सिलेक्टेड. ऑफकोर्स यू कुड बी द राईट पर्सन दॅट यू मे गेट सिलेक्टेड इन सम ऑफ दीज ओपनिंग, बट वी कॅन लर्न थ्रू एक्सपिरियन्स, अँड एव्हरी डे इज अ लर्निंग एक्सपिरियन्स फॉर अस. आणि सगळ्यात महत्वाचं म्हणजे कुठल्याही इंटरव्ह्यूला गेल्यानंतर हा सगळ्यात महत्वाचा भाग, त्या लोकांना असं वाटलं पाहिजे की येस, दिस इज द राईट स्टुडंट हु इज लुकिंग फॉर प्रोग्रेस, हु वॉन्ट्स टू गो अहेड इन लाईफ. त्याला काहीतरी करायचंय. दॅट बर्निंग डिझायर हॅज टू बी देअर. येस, आय कॅन अंडरस्टँड दॅट युअर अकॅडमिक मे नॉट बी अगदी डिस्टिंक्शनचं नसेल, बट इव्हन दो इफ यू हॅव गॉट, मी असं म्हणेन की 59% आहे, डझंट मॅटर, पण तुमच्यामध्ये ते तसं डिझायर दिसलं पाहिजे, बर्निंग डिझायर. And that can be exhibited, that can be reflected within first 5 to 6 minutes only. ते त्यांच्या लगेच लक्षात येतं. So what is more important student is that there has to be a burning desire. आणि आणखीन एक महत्वाचा भाग आहे सर, मी आणखीन 1-2 मिनिटं घेतो प्लीज, की तुमच्या प्रोफेशन बाबत तुम्हाला अभिमान पाहिजे. यू शुड हॅव अ प्राऊड ऑफ युअर ओन प्रोफेशन. सी फॉर एक्झाम्पल, इफ somebody has chosen botany as a specialization, first of all, he or she should know why he has chosen this specialization. इथून खरी सुरुवात आहे. He must know it. If somebody has taken microbiology, botany, त्याला पहिलं हे माहिती पाहिजे की why he has selected this particular specialization. ठीक आहे बाबा, काही मिळत नव्हतं म्हणून हे घेतलं असं नाही. There has to be some interest, and that interest has to be reflected throughout your discussion with the panelist. And right from beginning, try to develop a good rapport. If you develop a good rapport, then only you can get the answers about your queries. तुम्हाला काही doubts असतील तर. Otherwise, those people are very smart and they will not give the answers of your queries. तर तुमचं पहिलं म्हणजे प्रोग्रेसिव्ह नेचर एक्झिबिट झालं पाहिजे तुमच्या इंटरव्ह्यू मधून. हा सगळ्यात महत्वाचा भाग आहे.
थँक्यू सर, तुमच्या बरोबर आज खूपच छान डिस्कशन झालं आणि इट वॉज व्हेरी फ्रुटफुल डिस्कशन.
थँक्यू.
नाउ मे आय रिक्वेस्ट डॉक्टर Maheshwari sir to present a vote of thanks.
Yes sir. Very good evening to all of you. Now,
Very good evening sir.
It was a very you can say, illuminating or enlightening lecture by you, that many of the students which face the corporate interviews, they fail, or any type of interviews, they don't know the basics what they are doing. Okay, and it was like that. It was whole basic as well as advanced type of lecture you have given, and definitely it will benefit our students. And it's my duty to propose vote of thanks, and it gives me an immense pleasure that I am conveying the vote of thanks. And
Thank
on
you,
the
sir.
behalf,
Thank you.
okay, and on behalf of Placements and Training Cell, Bajaj College of Science, Wardha, and on behalf of myself also, I am thankful to our today's guest speaker, Professor Prasad Bhagwatsa, who is head of Industry and Institute Interaction and Placement at Sri Santa Krupa Institute of Engineering and Technology, Gurgaon, for guiding us as well as sharing his precious knowledge on the topic campus to corporate. Sir, I assure you our students have definitely benefited by your guidance. I owe a great thanks to Dr. Om Mohodaya sir, Principal of Bajaj College of Science, Wardha, Dr. Mamta Chandrakar ma'am, who is the IQAC coordinator of our college, and all the heads of the departments of Bajaj College of Science, Wardha, for their continuous support for organizing such programs. I am also thankful to Dr. Dheeraj Naik and Dr. Saikat Biswas for their all-time support for organizing the webinar. Now, without audience, the success of program is not at all possible. So I am heartily thankful to all my friends for the participation, their presence, and maintaining the decorum throughout the program. Thank you all.
So before we conclude the presentation, my special thanks to respected principal sir. My special thanks to you also. Right from the day one, you are positive person I have come across in my life. I have seen there are many, but you are also one of them. And I can see that there is a desire from this faculty and from the institute that we need to give something additional to the students so they can be at their best positions in their life. So thank you very much to all of you, and my best wishes to especially to the students. And students, please note that even though there is a pandemic situation, this situation will not remain for a long time. It will go as the days will progress. As you will see that situation will go. Look at the situation around 1.5 years back. There was no vaccine. But look at the contribution of scientists from pharmacy community, scientists from microbiology department, scientists from the medical community department, scientists even from the veterinary department also. Look at their dedication and devotion. We have succeeded in developing the vaccine within 1.5 years. So students, bright future and ahead is there. Bright future is ahead for you. And you are at one of the best safe hands in this institute. So best wishes to all of you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now I will end the meeting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay.